I highly recommend Ron Chernow's book about Grant. It's fantastic, and yeah, I guess I'm not going to make it as a lighting person, huh? Uh, no, Grant. The Washington book is fantastic, and so I thought I'd check out the book on Grant, and it's just so fabulous. It goes into uh, all kinds of little anecdotes that you don't normally like. Like if you read Grant's memoirs, you would not get juicy bits of information like conversations that were had or things that happened. Or he certainly goes into his alcoholism. Um, there are wonderful passages of uh, certainly the Civil War. But the guy had a long career even after the Civil War. I mean, in his day, he goes through Reconstruction. You know, his relations with Badeau, his wife. He really very respectful of Julia Dent. Um, In-depth survey of his presidency, of his 2-year trip abroad. Uh, it's I don't know. I've never read another book about Grant except for what's that guy's name? Shit, can't remember. Anyway, a shorter one. I can't remember the dude's name. Starts with a K. Anyway, but there's some illustrations. The I mean, it takes you through the whole thing. I mean, his dad was a total busybody trying to rip off his son's fame. He's probably one of the best um, characters of integrity in our country, as far as being magnanimous and not speaking badly about other people. And uh, I don't know, he just had a real tremendous sense of personal integrity. What killed him in the end was the cigar smoking. Uh, Gave him cancer of the throat, and the guy was just an incessant chain smoker of cigars. And he insinuates that Sherman was disenchanted with him toward the end, which may or may not have been true. Erudite, and there's a lot of words you got to look up, and he uses a lot of period words, and it's great for your vocabulary. I personally find his style to be a little bit bombastic, high flown, uh, like he's trying to impress people with his vocabulary, which why not? Why not? I think he sacrifices something in style, uh, but it, as far as an in-depth biography on Grant, I highly recommend it. It's very long. I read it and I listened to the audio book, which I think is read by Grover Gardner, but um, I may be wrong about that. Anyway, that's uh, and now I desperately want to go see Grant's tomb, and I'm reading the memoirs, which were a tremendous success, and the guy was a total rube, I guess you could say, when it came to financial matters. He beautiful guy in American history, and I'm really glad I read this book, and I would highly recommend it to anybody that's curious about Ulysses Grant. So that's it.